This is the Zhiyun M20C. It is a really bright LED light, but also very compact that you can fit it into your pocket. It has a built-in battery, it has all sort of features that you can think of, but the best thing about this light is something that you can't really see right now, but I will show you very soon in this review. But before we start the review, some usual disclaimers. Zhiyun sent me 2 of these M20C lights so I can try them out and create this review. I don't need to send them back after this review, but as usual, I didn't accept any money from Zhiyun and they didn't tell me what to say or what not to say in this review. I just want to make sure everything is clear and transparent before we start. Okay, first of all, have a look at this M20C. It is a very cool looking LED light. The size is also very compact, it's about the size of my palm, and the weight is around 200 grams including the built-in battery, so it is pretty lightweight as well. A big reason why the M20C is not heavy is that the light is pretty much all made of plastic. Nothing wrong with the build quality. Everything fits together perfectly, but the M20C does feel plasticky. The front of the M20C is a square-shaped light panel which has bicolor and RGB LED light underneath it. At the back, there is a big 4500 mAh non-replaceable battery sitting at the bottom, 2 clickable dials at the top for controlling the light, and there is a small but still easy to read screen between the dials. There are lots of air fans at the back and side of the light, and there's a cooling fan inside to help cool down the light. We have a USB-C port at the top for charging the built-in battery. You can also use a PD USB power source to power the light, so if you connect it to a AC PD power source, you can set up the M20C as a studio light and don't have to worry about recharging the battery. Just like the Zhiyun Cinepeer C100 that we looked at last year, you double press the power button to power on the M20C. It is a safety feature to avoid someone accidentally power on the light when the light is in a bag. I personally would prefer using a switch rather than double press a button to power on the light, as using a switch is quicker. The light has different lighting modes, the usual CCT bicolor mode that goes from 2500K to 10,000K, and it also has green magenta control. For color output, there are the usual HSI and RGB mode. The effects mode has 16 different effects. Some effects looks pretty nice, but there are also some effects that looks pretty average. It has a music mode that the M20C would light up according to the ambient sound. Which can be quite useful for parties or maybe when you're shooting video that you just want some background lighting that matches the music. The M20C can be remote controlled using the ZY Vega smartphone app. You can connect multiple Zhiyun lights to the app and connect all of them from your smartphone. The app is pretty well designed and is easy to use, so in terms of features, the M20C has pretty much all the lighting mode that you can think of and also decent smartphone connectivity. But at the same time, so far, nothing really makes this M20C different from a lot of other similar products in the market. Well, if this is just another LED light that is not really different from the other small LED lights that I already reviewed in the past, I wouldn't be interested in spending a few weeks to review this M20C. So there are 2 things that make the M20C unique. First, it is a 20-watt light, which is quite high power for a light of this size. In comparison, the Aperture MC, which is what I usually use these days, is only 5 watt. Even the new Aperture MC Pro is also only 5 watt. The M20C is only slightly bigger in size, but it is 4 times higher in output power. Here is a side-by-side comparison of this Zhiyun M20C with the Aperture MC, both at 100% power, 5500K. The Zhiyun is much brighter. Not really surprised as one is a 20-watt light and one is a 5-watt light. Actually, I can power down the M20C all the way to around 20% power, and the M20C at 20% power is still slightly brighter than the Aperture MC at 100% power. However, there are also some downsides for such high power output. First, the M20C has the cooling fan to cool down the light. The cooling fan would automatically kick in when the light is starting to get hot. The cooling fan doesn't run non-stop, but from my experience, even on a not very hot day like around 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit, the cooling fan would still be running almost all the time unless I turn the power down to just a few percent. I won't say the cooling fan is very loud, but if you are shooting video indoor and the microphone is within a meter or two, then the microphone may still pick up quite a bit of cooling fan noise. The other downside is the running time. Despite it has a pretty large 4500 mAh battery, Zhiyun claims runtime at full power is only 40 minutes. I did a runtime test and I got just over 33 minutes running at 100% 5500K in CCT mode. So that's just over half an hour. It isn't really that long. Unfortunately, this is a price that we have to pay for having such high power output. However, because it is such a powerful light, you quite likely won't be running the light at full power. Remember I said earlier, the M20C at 20% power output is still brighter than the Aperture MC at 100%. So if I run the M20C at 20% power, then the battery will last more than 2 hours easily. So anyway, the high power output is the first thing that makes the M20C different from the other pocketable LED lights in the market. It is just much brighter. The second thing that makes the M20C special is that it comes with a cage, which I personally think is the best thing about this M20C. But hey, why do we need a cage for a small LED light? The cage can be installed very easily. You just slide it in and then you can lock it securely. If you want to remove the cage, you just need to push the latch and then you can remove it very easily. There is a cold shoe attachment at the bottom of the cage with a 1/4-inch screw hole, so you can attach the M20C to a camera or a tripod quite easily. And then there are 3 cold shoe mounts at the 3 other sides of the cage. You can connect multiple M20C units together if you need more powerful or a larger light, or you can attach other camera accessories. I have some people suggest attaching a microphone to one of the cold shoe mounts. I don't think it is a really good idea as the microphone would be really close to M20C's cooling fan. Even if you are using a directional shotgun mic, it will probably still pick up quite a bit of cooling fan noise. There is a magnetic mount at the back so you can attach the M20C to a metal surface easily. One nice thing Zhiyun did is they added a rubberized coating to the magnetic mount so the M20C won't scratch the metal surface that it is attaching to. But hey, there is more. At the front of the cage, there is another magnetic mount. If you buy the combo version, the M20C would come with 3 different light modifiers that can be installed very easily to the cage using the magnetic mount. First, we have this diffuser, which to be honest, it doesn't really make the light much softer. If you want to make the light softer, you need to increase the surface area of the light, which this diffuser doesn't do. But the diffuser can make the individual LED behind the panel not so visible. Then we have the honeycomb grid, which limits the light spills. This is very useful when you want to focus and restrict your light to a smaller area. And last but not least, there is a 4-leaf barn door, which allows you to manually control and shape the light. This is my favorite modifier out of the three. There are a lot of cool effects that you can do with the barn door. You can also combine these light modifiers by stacking them on top of each other. The only thing that I can think of that Zhiyun haven't done is maybe include a white fabric cover that can be attached to the barn door and add as a small softbox like what Zhiyun did with their Cinepeer C100. But other than that, I think Zhiyun really have done everything that they can do for such a compact LED light. With these magnetic light modifiers that come with the combo version, you have quite a lot of control of light, which is something most of the other small LED light in the market cannot do. So overall, I am very impressed by this Zhiyun M20C light. Within quite a short period of time, Zhiyun has released a number of really high quality and innovative light including this M20C. Zhiyun M20C is not exactly cheap. The price of the M20C itself is US $129 and the combo version is $159. But you can quite often get them for a bit cheaper. I do wish the construction is a little bit more metal, maybe like the Aperture MC, which feels more premium. But consider how bright this light is, the clever cage design and the magnetic modifiers that comes with the combo version. The M20C is the most versatile and innovative compact LED light in the market right now. This is quite surprising for a company that has been most famous for their gimbals.